In this video, we're going to take a quick look at how I created my droplet inside of the DigitalOcean environment. So here is the current one that I created just recently, and you can see the parameters of it. 2 gigabytes of RAM, 50 gigabyte hard drive space, location New York City 1, and it used the Dokku 0.21.4 on Ubuntu 20.04. So I'll go ahead and click on that. And here we can see the IP address, which that's important because we need to link that up to a DNS record. And so we'll take a look at that also. And here is the console button. So a lot of our work will be done in that in the next video. So it's good to know that's there, and that will give us access to the Linux kernel inside of this virtual machine that is located inside of this droplet. And here is what the DNS screen looks like for my DNS provider. So you would need to do something like this also. It just makes it nicer when you refer to the URL. You may want to just use an IP address, but I set up this host record. It's an A record called Pocketbase. So it's pocketbase.scottshelpdesk.com/_. And that's the URL to the Pocketbase admin panel that I showed in a previous video. So you have to, make sure you set up a DNS record in whatever provider that you're using. So once you've set up your A record in your DNS server, as I've done here, then you can see the URL here is https://pocketbase.scottshelpdesk.com/_. And once you enter that in, you will come to this web page here, which is the admin panel for the Pocketbase implementation. And we'll be going through the steps that I took to get this set up in the next couple videos. I can show the basic screens here. There's not much information since it's just a default implementation. But that was the main screen there. And I created a collection called To Do, and there's just like one record in there. And then we can look at users, which I haven't added any yet. And then we can have logs. And if you click this up here, include requests by admins, you can see more URLs that were connected to and methods that were called. And here is the settings screen. So you have your application settings, your file storage settings, and there's some experimental options here for exporting and importing collections, which is actually a pretty nice feature. Auth providers, such as email and password. That's what I have set up here. Token options, those are the default settings that I haven't changed. And then a list of admins, which I won't show that. So back here in the droplet page, you can see there's a link here, get started, and it knows about Dokku. So you can click on that to find more information, or under more, that's where you could add a domain, access the console window, resize the droplet, add block storage, view the usage, enable backups, or edit tags. But in this case, I will just click on the Get Started button. So now I'll create a new droplet that will include a Linux image and a Dokku image. And we can create our new Pocketbase after that. So I'll click on the Create button, click Droplet. We'll pick New York City. I guess this time we'll pick the second data center. So here I've selected the marketplace and typed in Dokku, and you see it does find one. So I'll go ahead and click that, and then you see the search results, and you can click on details if you want. It gives you some information about it here. Dokku makes it a breeze to deploy and manage web applications on your own server. It's now available as a one-click installation. It's easier to have your own private application platform in a matter of minutes. And it has the MIT license. So there's some other links and things that you can read here, and there's also an app detail page if you want more additional information. But in this case, we're just going to go ahead and choose that. And then I'm going to choose regular SSD. And we'll do the same, 2 gig RAM, 1 CPU. So $12 a month. And that's basically what we need to do. And now I will go ahead and click the Create Droplet button. So on this screen, you'll see the meter goes up slowly. It can take several minutes, so we'll come back when it finishes. So now on this screen, we can see the droplet has been provisioned, and we will continue from here. So let's go ahead and click into this instance. And now I'm going to go ahead and set up a DNS pointer to this domain or to this IP address. So here I'm showing the DNS server where I set up a new A record for this new IP address. And so it's the part that's highlighted in red. And so I went ahead and did that and clicked save. And now here I opened up a command prompt on my Windows 10 machine. And I pinged that host name / IP address, which you can see is it resolves to 45.55.43.199, which is what we want. So now we have that part finished. Let's move on. So the next step, I'm going to create a public repository called Pocketbase. This is for the DigitalOcean Dokku Pocketbase YouTube video. And I won't check any other options here, and we'll just click Create Repository. And so now we see our basic 7 Git commands that we'll need to use in a little bit. So I will keep that window open and just put to the side. So now I'm going to go ahead and click on the console button here, and it will open up a web browser page with a terminal window into the Linux machine running inside of this droplet or container. And so you can see up at the top here that it's running Ubuntu 20.0.4.5, and it shows you the IP address, the IPv4, and what the memory usage is, and some other basic information. And then a little bit further down, you can see it says here, welcome to DigitalOcean's one-click Dokku droplet. And it tells us that the firewall is enabled, which is good. And if you click on or put this in another web browser page, it will take you to a Dokku setup page. So we'll look at that in just a moment. So here I'm going to make a directory called Pocketbase down here on the command line. And then if I do a ls, you can see there is a Pocketbase folder. So let's go ahead and change into that. So on the terminal window, there is a message here, your Dokku setup page. It's at the IP address that's listed in this terminal. So I went there and there was some secure information listed there, so I didn't show the screen, but you can just follow the URL for whatever your IP address would be and go to that screen. There's a SSH public key that you need to copy, so go ahead and do that on that screen and then click the Finish Setup button that's at the bottom of it. After you do that, you should see a page similar to this deploying to Dokku. So that about wraps it up for this video. We will get further into the Dokku configuration and some other settings that we need to take care of next. If you like this channel, please like and subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified when I post new content.